So question number 1 is virtual assistants or freelancing a stable job? Stable na trabaho ba ang freelancing or virtual assistants? Now, marami ang nagsasabi na you should not give up. Kung meron kang stable na office position, hindi mo dapat yun i-give up kasi freelancing is unstable. Ang masasabi ko dyan is either or. It can be stable, it can also be unstable depending on the client that you get, the job that you have, and the services that you offer. So, although karamihan sa mga freelancers or virtual assistants, tinatanggap nila na unstable yung online jobs or freelance jobs. Kaya nga, many of us, hindi lang nag-i-stay sa isang client, kung hindi, meron silang tinatawag na fallback para in case magka-problema doon sa isang client or kaya biglang ma-lay off, meron silang backup plans. Okay, so let me share my experience to tell you that there are some jobs online that are stable. I work as a customer service rep. Yung first job ko as a customer service representative was 6 years, almost 7 years ako sa company na yon. So, can I call that a stable job? Yes, I can definitely call that a stable job. Second job ko as a customer service rep was only 3 months. I didn't like the job and I resigned. And then a few months after that, na-dissolved din yung company. So that was not a stable job. Now, I am working as a customer support manager right now sa Zencastr. It's a software as a service company. Matatawag ko ba siyang stable job? Yes, matatawag ko siya na stable job because I'm almost 4 years na sa company na to. But there are also challenges that the company is facing. So although I can call it a stable job, I also have accepted na anytime pwedeng mawala sa akin yung trabaho na to. So again, to answer the question, is virtual assistants or freelancing a stable job? Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. So maganda na meron kang backup plan. That's why marami sa mga freelancers or online VAs talagang nag-aaral. They keep learning para in case na mawalan man ng client, hindi sila matatagalan sa paghanap ng replacement. Okay, question number 2 is virtual assistants or freelancing a business or an employment? Yan. Magandang tanong to, no? Business nga ba ang work online or is it merely an employment too? The answer to that is also it depends. Iba-iba din, depende. Virtual assistants, para lang din siyang trabaho sa labas na iba't iba ang ino-offer. Merong iba na contractual, merong iba na part-time, merong iba na long-term. Parang ganun lang din sa virtual assistants. Ang kaibahan lang is virtual or online mong ino-offer yung services mo. So is virtual assistants a business or an employment? It can be a business and it can also be an employment. If you are working for a specific company, it doesn't matter if that's part-time or full-time job, meron ka mang sinusunod na hours or wala, that's called an employment. Ibig sabihin, meron kang empleyado ka or contractor ka ng isang company. But hindi lang limited dyan ang pwedeng gawin sa virtual assistants. Virtual assistants can also be a business. If you look at it this way, na parang service provider ka at nag-o-offer ka sa mga iba't ibang clients. So, if for example, ang trabaho ko as a customer support representative, meron akong sinusunod na hours, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. the following day. Meron akong company that I under. Full-time ako nagre-report doon, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Ang tawag doon is employment. Empleyado ako ng company na yon. But can I consider it a business? No, I cannot consider it a business kasi meron akong pinirmahang contractor agreement form. So, ibig sabihin, contractor talaga nila ako or empleyado. It is so-called employment pero technically it is contractor pa rin na meron lang set hours na sinusunod. But then on the other side, yung ginagawa namin sa podcast VAs is not employment. It is a business. Business siya because kami yung nag-o-offer ng service. Naghahanap ng client, nag-o-offer ng service namin. And if they like us, they would book us, mag-uusap kami, meron kaming pipirmahang kontrata, and then we would do the job for them. So that is the difference. So yes, virtual assistants can be unemployment, but it can also be a business depending on how you look at it and how you offer your services sa mga clients. Third question is, can I get a virtual assistance job even if I'm not good at speaking English? Ito lagi yung tanong, no? Parang, ay, ayoko magtrabaho. Hindi ko yata kaya magtrabaho online kasi hindi naman ako magaling magsalita ng English. The good news is, may mga trabaho na ngayon na hindi required na fluent ka magsalita ng English. So, hindi kailangan na spoken dollars ka at saka twangs, may mga masyado kang slang, hindi kailangan kasi ang importante lang sa ibang clients is marunong kang mag-express sa sarili mo in English. Marunong kang mag-express sa sarili mo in English. So if you can write and converse in English kahit na utal-utal ka pero naiintindihan ka naman nila, then you can offer your virtual assistance job. Hindi kailangan na sobrang galing mong mag-English na katulad ng mga naririnig natin sa mga movies, but it is needed na at least you are able to converse in English. Kahit na wrong grammar yan, kasi mas concerned tayong Pilipino sa grammars kaysa sa kanila. So kahit na wrong grammar pa yan, kahit na medyo thick ang accent mo, wala silang pakialam. Basta na-express mo yung sarili mo, naiintindihan ka nila, then you can become a virtual assistant. Now, the caveat to that is, may mga trabaho din talaga na nagre-require na dapat fluent ka magsalita ng English. Kagaya na lang ng customer support jobs or anything that needs to converse with the customers nila. So halimbawa, ikaw ay customer support, technical support, sales agent, or kaya blogger, writer, kailangan na marunong ka magsalita ng, of course, fluently in English. Again, hindi perfection ang hanap nila, but they are looking for someone who are able to converse in English well. Okay? Number 4, can I use a phone? May mga ibang nagtatanong, wala po kasi akong laptop, wala po kasi akong computer. Pwede ba akong makahanap ng virtual assistant job gamit lamang ang cellphone ko? The answer is yes, you can use your phone. May mga iilang clients na tanggap nila na nag-o-offer sila ng job at pwede sa kanila or accepted sa kanila ang phone lang ang gamit mo sa pagtatrabaho. Now, although I would have to say na yung chances mo to get that job is very limited kasi konti lang ang naghahanap ng ganun. Most of the companies, ang requirement nila sa tech side is at least you have now at least an i5 sa Windows, and then sa iba din ang requirement nila sa mga Apple or Mac devices. So yes, mas marami kang opportunities, mas marami kang mahahanap na opportunities online kung meron kang laptop or computer. Pero meron ding iilang opportunities para doon sa mga cellphones lang ang ginagamit. Although konting-konti sila. So the competition, kung ang competition sa virtual assistants ay stiff, it's even stiffer kung cellphone lang ang gamit mo. So it's also good na if you really are in it, kung gusto mo talagang maging virtual assistant, kailangan din nating mamuhunan talaga ng ating mga devices. Although may mga companies na nag-o-offer ng devices for free, kagaya na lang sa Zencastr, nag-o-offer sila kasi kailangan sa trabaho, specifically sa trabaho namin. So binibigyan nila kami ng budget. Pero that is very little kumpara sa mga clients na naghahanap talaga ng meron ka before you even start. Okay. Number 5 question. How do clients look for a VA? Paano nga ba naghahanap yung mga clients ng mga virtual assistants? There are 2 ways, okay? Ang isa, naghahanap sila through posting online. And then, pag may mga nag-pitch na sa kanila, may nag-send sa kanila, ito yung mga type na nagpo-post sa onlinejobs.ph, sa Upwork. Ito yung mga nagpo-post sa mga virtual or online websites ng mga openings nila. And then, what you do here is nagsasubmit ka ng resume, cover letter, video resume, anything that you can do to impress your client. Yung application form, of course. And then, they would filter yung mga applications and they would conduct an interview. So, yan ang unang paraan sa kanila is yung magpo-post ng mga job posting online. And there's a second way to find for the clients to look for providers online. And that is through online search. Minsan ang naghahanap is nasa Facebook groups, minsan naghahanap sila sa Google, minsan naghahanap sila sa LinkedIn. Sinasabi nila na, hey, I'm looking for a specific, maybe a social media manager. Paano yan? They can either do an interview or they can also do a discovery call. What is a discovery call? When it comes to interview, ikaw yung tinatanong ng company or ng clients. Ikaw yung sinasala nila. That's interview. Discovery call is you do the tables turned. Ibig sabihin, ikaw ang mag-i-interview sa kanila. Ikaw ang nagtatanong. Ikaw ang gustong alamin kung ano ang business nila. For example, sa interviews, they say, so anong mga experiences mo? Anong mga previous jobs mo? Ilang taon ka dito? Anong mga quality traits mo? That's an interview. But when it's a discovery call, ang mga tinatanong mo is, what is your business? What is your goal for the business? How do you see me be of help to your business? That is a discovery call. Ikaw na service provider ang nagtatanong. Ikaw ang nag-i-evaluate kung good fit ba kayo ng client. So those are the two ways that clients look for a job. They do it via an email, via an intern. Secondly, they second via discovery call. Number six question is, how much can I hire? Lagi yung tinatanong, no? Magkano nga ba yung kinikita ng mga virtual assistants online? Depende. Kagaya lang din ng mga trabaho sa labas, may iba't ibang rate offers ang mga clients. Merong mga coaches na medyo mababa ang offer nila, depende sa needs nila. Meron ding iilan na matataas yung requirements, matataas yung hanap nila ma-experience, and then at the same time, mataas din ang rate offer nila. So to give you maybe parang a range, kumbaga, ng rates, it can go from when I started in Odesk before, 2012 pa, when I started, rates can start from $2 per hour and above. Maybe 15, 20, 30, yan, mga ganyan. Ngayon, ang $2 per hour or ang $3 per hour, medyo low-balling na siya, if I can say that. Medyo barat na yung client. Kasi sa panahon natin ngayon, ang taas na ng inflation, ang taas na ng mga kailangan natin. So, I personally would recommend that you look for a job that is $5 and above ang offer. But that's just me. Kung may nahanap kayo na $4 and below, I won't judge you. Kung hanap nyo ay experience or kaya opportunity talagang, sayang naman din to Ate Nilin kasi nandito na to eh. It's completely up to you. But to give you a range, the reasonable rate is $5 and above. Depende sa trabahong nare-require sa'yo at sa trabaho na sa service na kaya mong i-offer. Now, number 7 is, what are the benefits? Meron bang benefits sa virtual assistants? Meron bang SSS? Meron bang pag-ibig? Meron bang, ano pa yan? Yung mga health HMOs? Ganon. The answer to that is also depende. Again, we have very different avatars na mga clients online. So, depende sa client at depende sa offer nila ang magiging rate at saka benefits mo. Maraming clients na no work, no pay. Yung work ko, when I was working for 6 years, doon sa first client ko, no work, no pay ako. Ibig sabihin, pag merong outage, merong problema, walan ka ako ng kuryente, nawalan ako ng internet, wala akong sahod. Ang nilulook forward ko sa company na yon was during kada December, binibigyan niya ako ng $100 na bonus. Yan lang. Christmas bonus. Hindi siya required pero regular niya ang ginagawa. So parang nilulook forward ko na ang bonus na yon. $100, around 5,000 pesos. So yun lang. The rest, no work, no pay. Okay? Now, there are clients that really have this abundant mindset na they really care about their employees. So nag-o-offer sila ng different benefits. Kagaya na lang ng yung iba nag-o-offer ng sick leave, vacation leaves, nag-o-offer yung iba ng stock option packages. Ibig sabihin ng stock options, meron kang share sa company na yan. Na pag nabenta ang company, pag na-acquire ang company, then meron kang makukuha sa company na yan. So that's a stock option package. May iba naman, willing sila na bigyan ka ng budget para sa internet, willing silang bigyan ka ng budget para sa pang PhilHealth mo, pang SSS mo. They are not required. They just do it out of the abundance of their heart. So, kung meron kang work, no pay, what do you do? Do you demand for benefit? No, you don't. But marami ang nadadaan sa mabuting usapan. So if you think that you deserve a benefit, and if you think a benefit is something that your client might consider, pwede mo silang kausapin, ihagil mo sila. Maybe say, hey, I've been working for you for 6 months, so I was wondering if maybe you can potentially give me an increase in my rate, or maybe potentially cover for my internet, mga ganong usapan. Many of them would really value you and say, oh, I'm very happy to give you a bonus. I'm very happy to give you this and give you that. Depende sa mga clients. So again, they are not required to do it, no? Hindi sila required na bayaran yung SSS mo, bayaran yung PhilHealth mo, bayaran yung mga kung ano, pag-ibig mo, hindi sila required. But some of them are glad to do that. Depende. So you have to play it by ear. Kung client mo, kuripot ba to, mapagbigay ba to, ganon. And then some of them, right off the bat sa job post pa lang, sinasabi na nila agad kung ano-ano mga benefits yung makukuha mo sa kanila. Now, let's say wala talagang in-offer ang benefit, na benefit sa'yo, yung client mo, and it's no work, no pay. Paano yung SSS ko, Ate Nilin? Paano yung pag-ibig ko? Then, dyan papasok yung voluntary contribution. You have to fix your SSS. You have to change your status to self-employed or voluntary. You have to go to PhilHealth office and say na magvo-voluntary ka na, and then magre-regular contribution ka. Ang maganda ngayon is marami dito nagagawa mo na online, so hindi mo na kailangan pumila. Like you can pay SSS online, you can pay Pag-ibig online, you can pay taxes mo, you can pay online, you can also pay for SSS, Pag-ibig, at saka PhilHealth. Yan, PhilHealth mo. Yan, you can do all those by contribution. Pwede mong gawin in case na no work, no pay ka talaga sa client mo. Ayan. 8th question is, totoo po ba na walang social life ang mga virtual assistants at mga freelancers, Ate Nilin? Ako, personally, that's not true. Kasi, pumupunta ako ng church, that is a social life. Tayo na church tayo, nagsisimba tayo, dinededicate natin yung Sundays natin sa Panginoon. So that is technically a social life. Meron tayong mga kaibigan na kinikita every now and then, that is a social life. Yung iba, some of us are way too extrovert na gusto nila everyday sa trabaho meron silang nakakasama at nakakausap. Ang virtual assistants or freelancing is sometimes you work with a team, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you work alone. So, if you are really sobrang introvert mo na hindi mo kaya na wala kang kausap, katsikahan habang nagtatrabaho, then freelancing may not be for you. Or maybe look for a job na yung team talaga, yung meron sila. Para naman, meron kang katsikahan online habang nagtatrabaho. Although I don't recommend that kasi ang sobrang bilis mong mawala sa focus kapag ganon. But yes, there are companies, there are jobs online na pwede mong kausapin yung mga katrabaho mo. Virtually lang din. So hindi totoo na walang social life ang mga virtual assistants or freelancers. Maybe less ang kanilang social life kasi minsan na lang tayo lumalabas ng bahay, hindi na everyday, weekends na lang or Sundays na lang. But still, that is social life. So, depende sa level ng introversion or extroversion mo. Once a week na labas, once a week na meet up with your friends can or cannot be considered a social life sa'yo. Ayan. Number 9, how do I start? Paano ba ako, Ate Nilin, magsisimula sa virtual assistant? First is you have to create a resume. Kagaya lang din ang ginagawa natin sa pag nag-a-apply tayo sa labas. So, gagawa ka ng iyong resume. Dati, biodata pa ang tawag, pero you create your resume, gagawa ka ng cover letter, gagawa ka ng portfolio para sa mga graphic designers gumagawa or mga web designers gumagawa sila ng mga portfolio. Kung customer support manager ka, dapat gumawa ka na in advance ng yung voice recording on how you talk para diretso na hindi ka na nila hanapan. Pwede kang gumawa ng video resume, maybe that's 3 minutes or less. That is just you looking at the camera, talking about, your services, what you can offer, and, the types of jobs that you can offer to the clients, mga ganon. So definitely start with a resume, start with a portfolio, cover letter, and a video. Hindi required Pero it is good kung meron ka na ng mga video resumes. Ayan. And then next, of course, you have to start looking. Kasi hindi siya mahuhulog sa bibig mo. Kailangan mo siyang hanapin. Hahanapin mo siya, magsasubmit ka ng mga resumes online, hindi agad-agad makukuha mo yung trabaho. May iba na it took a while for them para makahanap ng online job. Ako, when I started, it took me 6 months. Why? Kasi ang ginawa ko is, hindi ko siya tinodo talaga. Ang ginawa ko is, after ko umuwi from work, saka ako nagsasubmit, saka ako nag-check ng mga replies, saka ako nakikipag-schedule ng interviews. So, umabot ng 6 months. Pero if you don't have a full-time job and if you really are in it right now and you want to do it now, then you can spend every day sa online job mag-submit ng mga maraming resumes. Maghanap ng mga Facebook groups na sa tingin mo ay pwede kang mag-offer ng mga services mo. Mag-post ka sa LinkedIn, i-improve mo yung LinkedIn bio mo, LinkedIn profile. And if you know how to do a very simple website, you can also do it. You can use Canva now. Pwede ka nang gumawa ng website mo sa Canva. Or if you want to challenge yourself more, pwede ka ring gumawa ng website mo. Na it can be a free website, it doesn't matter. Basta website where you just showcase all your services na gusto mong i-offer sa mga freelancers. So that is how you start. It's not easy and even it's not for everyone. Ang virtual assistant is not for everyone. It's not for the faint of heart. Kung na-decline ang application mo, hindi ka binalikan, hindi pwede na ma-down ka na agad. Tuloy lang ng tuloy kasi maybe that's not for you. Maybe may ibang nilaan si Lord para sa'yo. So tuloy-tuloy ka lang sa pag-submit. And then if you get a response from the client and they say, I'm sorry, this is just not, we found another applicant that we think is best for this position. You can ask them, is there anything you can suggest that I can improve? Some of them are very kind to offer their feedback. And then from there, of course, work on yourself. That's how you do. Ayan. Last question. What skills do I have or services that I can offer? Ano ba yung mga skills atin nila na pwede kong i-offer online as a virtual assistant? Or ano ba yung mga services na pwede kong gawin online as a virtual assistant? Napakaraming pwede mong gawin ngayon online as a virtual assistant. But I have to say 2 things. Merong soft skills na tinatawag at merong hard skills. Soft skills ay yung personality mo. Ano ka ba? Anong klase ka bang professional? No? Anong klase kang professional? Isa sa mga soft skills, definitely one is reliability. I cannot stress on reliability. Hindi pwede na nalilate tayo ng madalas. Hindi pwede na pag hindi natin feel pumasok, hindi na tayo papasok. Hindi ganon. Because the nature of the job is online, importante sa mga clients na mapagkakatiwalaan ka nila. So if you have this attitude that you are really reliable, magugustuhan ka ng mga clients mo. That you would be there and that you don't sound like you're always just making excuses. So that's a soft skill. Innate yan sa'yo Innate yan sa'yo na kailangan mo i-improve. So soft skills for sure. Proactiveness, number 2, yung parang hindi ka naghihintay na inuutusan ka. You are willing to Google, you are willing to check further, how else can I help the client? How else can I make my services better? Ano pa kayang pwede kong gawin para ma-improve ko pa yung services na ino-offer ko? You're being proactive. So halimbawa, ang offer mo is, or ang trabaho mo sa client na to is social media management. But then, sumilip ka sa website nyo and then nakita mo na, uy, parang may typo kami dito sa website na to. Parang this could be worded better. Mga ganong bagay. Gawain nyo ng proofreaders. No? But then, yung social media manager ka, sasabihin mo ba na, ay, social media manager naman ako, wala naman akong pakialam dyan. So, hindi ko na yan hindi ko na yan i-erase. No, proactiveness is whatever you think can improve pa sa client, you suggest it. Whatever you think you can help pa, you offer your help. That's being proactive. That's a soft skill too. Something na hindi siya naaaral kung hindi na-i-improve sa sarili mo. Ayan. So, number 1 is definitely reliability, proactiveness, and then a teachable spirit. Yung willing kang matuto. Kasi sa freelancing, sa virtual assistants, Not everything will be taught to you. Hindi lahat spoon feed sa'yo. So sa call center, meron kaming tinatawag na American accent training. Meron tayong tinatawag na product training. Sa virtual assistant, sa freelancing, walang ganon. So you have to be very teachable. Ibig sabihin, hahanap ka ng paraan para mas matuto ka pa. Mag-aaral ka para mas matuto ka pa. Hindi yung pag-clock out mo, oh, I'm done, matutulog na ako. Hindi. Hahanap ka ng paraan para mas mapa-improve pa yung sarili mo. Number 2 is hard skills. What are hard skills? Hard skills ay yung mga skills na natututunan mo along the way. Kagaya na lang ng mga social media management, video editing, audio editing, web design, any services they can offer. Those are called hard skills. Naaaral mo yan, no? Pwede kang maghanap ng coach na makakaturo sa'yo, or pwede kang maghanap ng mga videos online para matutunan mo. And then if you think you are ready to offer that service, then pwede mo na siyang i-offer out there as a service that you can pwede mong i-monetize or maging business mo, no? Hard skills ang tawag doon. So yon, soft skills and hard skills, two things always very important na mga skills na kailangan mo or services na pwede mong ma-offer. Now, when it comes to services, there are many different services that you can offer online. Pwede kang maging customer support representative, technical support representative, writer, hindi ka magsulat, blogger, kung mahilig magsulat, proofreader, kung magaling ka sa grammar, audio editor, video editor, kung mahilig ka doon sa creative side, graphic designer, graphic artist, yung mga logo design, anything creative side, no? Maraming pwedeng mga services na may offer. You just have to check first kung ano ba sa tingin mo yung unang-una, syempre, hilig mong gawin, and then pangalawa is kaya mong aralin. Sa tingin mo ay kaya mong aralin.